Loop podcast on here. I
No,
don't know why. I guess that's from I'm using StreamYard now because of you too, so that's from my stuff.
absolutely not. You just leave it
Okay.
on there. Oh shoot, wait a
Okay.
minute. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'll just edit this. End recording, not yet. Okay, it's still recording. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. No, you leave your In the Loop podcast up there. You've been helpful to me. I want to help you. We're we're
Okay. I
we're helping
appreciate
each other here.
teamwork.
So, yep, makes the dream work. So let's talk about the American event that took place over the weekend. The American Contender Tournament regional finals happened in Abilene, Texas over the weekend. Jordan Joe Fabrizio turned in the fastest time in the breakaway roping, a time of 2.21. And Jordan Joe, the host of the In the Loop podcast, one of the best if you're following breakaway roping and other things. She's been branching out as well. Is joining us. Jordan, congratulations. You told me before we started this, you had one run for $15,000 and you weren't even sure you got out.
Yeah, it was crazy. We roped fresh calves there. They had 3 runs on them. The girls had come and preconditioned them the day before. Heath Stewart put together a good set of calves, but they were fresh, and so it was a tough setup yesterday, just because they were kinda hesitating, and then they were big, strong calves, and they ran hard, and so it wasn't something that we're used to seeing a lot of the times in the setups that we rope in, and especially for a one-header, so I thought it was pretty difficult, but man, I've got to give a lot of credit to my pusher, Matt Reeves. He was in there. He had to do a great job because I have no idea how I got out. And my husband was yelling no the whole time. And I guess I pulled enough and it just worked.
Uh, the most underappreciated job in professional rodeo, the pusher in the timed events.
Yeah, most certainly. They make such a big difference. And, I love all the contestants in rodeo, but I really love the Bulldoggers because I feel like their event is there's so much similarity to theirs and ours as far as the score goes. And so it's a big deal to them if you can get out or not. And so they put a lot of effort into pushing. And so I'm always trying to find a Bulldogger to get on my side. And I do offer my services to push for them as well, but nobody's taken me up on it yet. So I'm not too disappointed.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Someday it might happen. Who knows? Jordan, let's talk about just to remind everybody the format. Which one of the 3 contender regionals did you go through? There was one in Oklahoma City, there was one in Las Vegas, and there was one in Kentucky. Which one did you go through? Kind of talk about how you got here.
So I went through Oklahoma City. I entered just the central region was the only region I entered, and I got 2 spots there. And so I carried in both of my spots into the regional finals at Oklahoma City. On one of my spots, I did great, made it back. On the other spot, I broke out and didn't do good. And so I only made it back to the short round there one time. When we got to Oklahoma City, everybody got 2, and then they brought, I think, the top 15 or 10. I can't remember. It's been a while ago. This thing is kind of a marathon.
Yeah.
But they brought back, I think, the top 10 to the contender finals, regional finals, and then they took the 5 out of that. So I was fortunate to win 3rd at Oklahoma City, and then that carried me into the contender finals here in Abilene. And man, it was. I love hearing, and you watch it on the Cowboy Channel. We talk about it on his podcast. We hear it at the American, the WCRA. Everybody's like, "Man, these perfs are stacked." I'm like, "No, the breakaway roping is just stacked." I mean, the ladies that rope are just amazing, and it is always stacked because the competition is fierce. And so there was some 15 of the best girls there roping yesterday, and like I said, it was a tough setup, and the calves were tough, and I was lucky to draw good, and the horse did good, and all worked out. But it was kind of a marathon to get there, but we got to rope a lot of calves, and I love roping calves, so that was fun.
The top 5 from yesterday go on to Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas for the American. The American Western Weekend is March 8th and 9th. A year ago, Jackie Crawford won $600,000. And I know you've had Jackie on the In the Loop podcast, and you asked her about the impact of that. Did you ask her about roping? Are you going to reach out to Jackie and get a little feel for what it's like at Globe Life Field?
Oh, most certainly. I mean, you don't want to reinvent the wheel, and Jackie's been there so many times. I mean, I don't know how many times she's even won the American, let alone now she's a co-owner, co-winner of the $500,000. Yeah, that's something that's really cool about Breakaway is we get to talk about all the things that we do together and pick each other's brains, and I think that makes it really fun. And Jackie's a veteran, and I think just won so much in rodeo and roping and breakaway roping, and you have to pick her brain at all times. So, yeah, I'm sure she'll be getting a phone call from me.
Yeah, well, and let's not discount what Jordan Joe has accomplished in her life. She's a national finalist, was the first champion in Cheyenne, produces a great podcast, could traditionally in the top 15, the top 20, the top 25 at least. Um, you've got an opportunity for a big boost. Have you let your mind wander a little bit to some big money sometime in the beginning of March of 2024?
You know what? I think anybody would be just tremendously blessed to have that opportunity, and I'm just gonna take it one calf at a time. I would love to win the $1,000,000 and hold that check up again and, stand on that stage, but at the end of the day, you know what? I'm blessed, I'm healthy, I'm fortunate, my family and I are healthy, and I get to do what I love every day, day in and day out, and, that's what gets me up every morning, that's my why, and so I'm just gonna try to keep it there and just be in the present moment and get to show up and rope and see how it turns out.
Two quick last questions. Tell me about the horse you roped on.
The horse I roped on is a mare we've owned for the last 4 or 5 years. Her name is Cookie. It's actually the horse I rode at the first NFBR that I made, and, she was really young then, and she's a very powerful horse, and my husband and I both ride her a lot, and I'm very thankful. You know, she's been a horse I've had to really learn how to ride and get with, and I've had to step my game up to be able to ride her. And you know, she makes my job really easy, and I'm very thankful for that. And you know, I feel like she's very powerful. So I've got to stay on top of my game, and I've got to stay fit, stay strong, and be ready. And yeah, my husband ropes on her a lot. He actually, for those of you who know a little bit about tie down roping, the day before he not roped some on her, and she was really stopping really hard. And I told him after I roped him, like, man, I barely got it there. She was planting her butt in the ground. And so yeah, it's something that I'm thankful for her, and she's given me a lot of opportunities.
What's coming up on the In the Loop podcast? What do you got planned?
You know, you and I, we're teaming up together on the In the Loop and all the things, 8 Seconds Media. We have, you know, I love that about podcasting because we get to we get to co-partner in that. We get to talk, get to share these stories and pick each other's brains. But you know, we're talking to some of the rodeo committees this year is something I really have a heart for. I want to give them a platform to talk about what they do behind the scenes and how special their rodeos are and how Breakaway's been a part of that. And so kind of diving off a little bit into that. And yeah, we have some things coming up with some ag details and podcasts in March. And you know, I don't really know. I try not to plan just a whole lot because there's so much happening so fast that you never know. But I love that I get to tell these stories, and you know, I love to talk. And so yeah, we'll just see where it takes us.
Jordan did a great show a couple of weeks ago. I forget exactly when, Jordan, but the bareback riders have gotten together and the bucking horse riders in pro rodeo to honor the memory of Trenton Montero. And I really, if folks haven't listened to that show, please do, because there was some really those guys are trying hard to remember a dear friend.
I tell you what, if that doesn't make you get your Kleenex box out and cry, I don't know what does. I was trying to fight back the tears while I was doing the podcast, but I tell you what, it's so cool to see our rodeo family really put their hearts and character into action. And the Trenton Montero Foundation is going to do nothing but good things. We got to team up with Ag Truck Trader. They brought us that series. Leighton Berry picked the Trenton Montero Foundation as his charity of choice. We're going to give a big check March 19th to the charity. There's 5 of us on the team, and we all picked a charity. So we have everybody go and vote for our charity on agtrucktrader.com. But the Trent Montero charity is just so partial and dear to my heart because it's cowboys helping cowboys to create a legacy in their families in and out of the arena, whether they can pay their bills, whether they can't, whether when or where tragedy affects them. And you know what? They're coming together and they're putting everything they've got in one basket, trying to raise money and create this legacy for Noah, his son, and his wife. And it's really just does your heart good to see that, you know, they do care about people in and out of the arena. And the golden rule really plays effect into what we do every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Joe Hollobaugh was 2.21 at the American Contender Regional Finals in Abilene, Texas over the weekend. One run for $15,000. That'd put a knot in my stomach. You're better than I am at these things, but that's a lot to have on 1, 2, 3 second run.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know it paid 15,000 until I was listening to the bareback riders and heard their interview, and he won 15,000. I was like, "Holy cow, it's a $15,000 one header. This is awesome." And so, man, you know what? Just to look back on the opportunities that the American has really given breakaway ropers, they were one of the first that gave us this kind of platform and gave us equal money, and we're equally competing along all these other cowboys and cowgirls, it's amazing and it's life-changing money. And a lot of hard work goes into everything that we do, whether you're a cowboy, cowgirl, all the things. And it's pretty neat to have the opportunity to compete for that kind of money one time and then, keep advancing. So it's I'm just thankful.
Jordan, I'm shocked. I asked you for 5 minutes. I kept you for 10. I'm shocked that I was able to. I mean, it's kind of the way things roll with when we get together. Jordan, Joe Hollobaugh, congratulations on the American Contender Finals, and good luck when you get to Globe Life Field.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.